Ambiguity effect. The ambiguity effect explains that we avoid making choices where we have less information. For example, when you go to a restaurant, you're unlikely to try a new dish with a name you've never heard before, even though it might be something you would like. Instead, you'll probably order your usual dish because you already know its taste. This is why most people order the same thing every time they eat out. Humans tend to avoid uncertainty and risk. Bystander effect. The bystander effect explains why people hesitate to ask for help in a crowd. Because there are others around, individuals tend to assume someone else will help. This reduces the sense of personal responsibility. For instance, if a person asks for help from a group, everyone might look at each other and think someone else will take action. However, if help is requested by an individual, the chances of offering help are higher. Pygmalion effect. The Pygmalion effect suggests that when our expectations of ourselves rise, our performance increases as well. For example, if you set a goal to complete a year's targets in just 3 months, you will notice yourself working harder than usual and might actually achieve those goals in less time. Ostrich effect. The ostrich effect refers to the tendency to ignore negative information, just like an ostrich hides its head in the sand to avoid danger. Humans do the same when they avoid checking their bank account out of fear that they will see a low balance. This often leads to ignoring issues until they get worse. Hawthorne effect. The Hawthorne effect explains how people's performance changes when they are being observed. For instance, when you're aware that your boss or teacher is watching you, you tend to put in more effort. However, when you're not being observed, you might behave differently. Cheerleader effect. The cheerleader effect is a cognitive bias that suggests people appear more attractive when they are in a group. For example, a cheerleader in a group looks more attractive than when she's alone, even if her appearance remains the same. Crispy effect. The crispy effect refers to how rewards influence behavior. For example, if a rat is given more food initially and less later, it will slow down its search for food. But if it is given less food at first and more later, it will speed up its efforts. Similarly, humans work harder when they are given greater rewards and perform poorly when rewards decrease. Donut effect. The donut effect occurs when people make impulsive purchases after buying something new. For example, after purchasing a new phone, you might end up buying new headphones, a subscription to an app, or even accessories for your car, all due to the chain reaction of compulsive buying. Endowment effect. The endowment effect explains how we tend to overvalue things we have owned for a long time. For example, we might be reluctant to give away old clothes even if we haven't worn them in years because we feel emotionally attached to them, and we might try to sell a house for more than its market value because of the sentimental attachment. Conjunction fallacy. The conjunction fallacy explains how we tend to believe that more detailed reasons make an event more likely. For example, if given 2 options, one saying your foot got injured this morning, and another saying you fell down the stairs this morning and hurt your foot, most people choose the second option because it seems more specific even though it requires 2 conditions to be true instead of just one. Toddler tendency. The toddler tendency refers to how people tend to hide their intellectual weaknesses or unimportant facts by giving irrelevant or random responses. Politicians, athletes, and businessmen often use this tactic to avoid admitting failures, instead giving long explanations to fill the gap and avoid being seen as losers. Trace effect. The trace effect happens when you invest too much time and attention in one activity, which starts affecting your thought patterns and behavior. For example, in a game where you fit patterns, people who play it for a long time may start seeing patterns in real-life objects too, like organizing a messy room in a particular way. Framing effect. The framing effect is a cognitive bias where 2 options are presented in either a positive or negative light, influencing our decisions. For example, a chocolate bar that is described as 80% fat-free is more likely to be chosen than the same chocolate described as containing 20% fat. Negativity bias. Negativity bias refers to our brain's tendency to focus more on negative information than positive. For example, if you're at a party where 9 out of 10 people compliment you, but one person says something negative, you'll likely remember and focus on the negative comment, ignoring the compliments. End of history effect. The end of history effect suggests that people believe they have already reached their maximum personal growth and will not evolve further. However, over time, your beliefs and actions change, and you continue to grow without realizing it. Spacing effect. The spacing effect states that learning is more effective when study sessions are spaced out over time. Studying just before an exam doesn't help you retain information long-term. However, if you review what you've studied over several sessions, you're more likely to remember it. Decoy effect. The decoy effect occurs when a third option is introduced between two existing options, influencing how we perceive the other options. In marketing, for example, a theater may offer a small and large popcorn with a big price difference. When a medium popcorn is added as an option, the large popcorn suddenly seems like a better deal. Reactance bias. Reactance bias happens when people do the opposite of what they are told to do because their freedom is being challenged. For example, if someone tells you not to do something, you may feel more inclined to do it just to assert your independence. Action bias. Action bias refers to the tendency to take unnecessary action because you feel pressured to do something. Even when it might be wiser to wait, you may feel the need to act. Illusion of averages. The illusion of averages happens when we think that the average of something reflects every instance. For example, if an investment returns an average of 15% per year, we often assume it will always return 15% when in reality, it may have years with higher or lower returns, but the average ends up at 15%. Post hoc fallacy. Post hoc fallacy is our brain's tendency to link two events together just because one happened after the other. For instance, if you ate something last night and had a stomachache this morning, you may assume the two are connected, even if there is no direct cause. If you like this video, please like, subscribe, and click the bell icon to support this channel and stay updated with new videos. Thank you for watching.